The summer of 1990X. Bang and marry, mission accomplished. Soak in the rays on the beach. Bang! It's a transmission from headquarters. My numbers come up again. The inventor of the doomsday bomb, Professor Plum, has been kidnapped. I've got to rescue him. Good luck. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome to Clash at Demonhead. Clash at Demonhead is an NES game that you may or may not have heard of. If you played it when it was originally out on the NES, like I did as a kid, then you probably remember this game being pretty darn frustrating. If you've heard of it but can't really place where, well, you might be remembering. Sorry, I have to deal with this man first because he seems to want to murder me. You're not a quitter, are you? Where's your camp? You haven't got a chance of getting to camp without the royal medallions of the 7 governors. I'm Tom Guycott, the chief of the governors, and I'll be waiting for you in my desert fortress on Route 33. Well, looks like we've got to go after Tom Guycott and the rest of the governors. Anyway, if you recognize the name but can't seem to place it, that's because you've probably either read the comics or seen the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. You see, during the Battle of the Bands, one of the band's names was Clash at Demonhead. And a lot of the characters in that were references to the game. So we're going to go ahead to Route 3. Now, this game is a lot of trial and error and figuring your way around the map, figuring out what each route has and following the suggestions of the characters about where to go. First, I'm going to go a very efficient route, having beaten the game before and done practice runs and used walkthroughs, etc., etc. Now, some interesting little features of this game. Anytime your head is below water, you're taking suffocation damage. It's pretty slow at first, but then it starts to kind of ramp up a bit. So that means anytime you jump in the water and your head goes below water, you're taking damage. You! Where are you going? Don't you know it's dangerous? I'm Michael, your ally for this adventure, but I don't take orders from you. Ah, that's right. I met the grieving sprite on Route 17. So long. Hey, wait up! That's not as much information as I would like, sir. Give me more. I said give me more information. Give me all of it! I'll use turbo on you! Fine. As you can see, I do have a turbo button. I will not be using it. Don't worry. Only for comedic effect, I assure you. So we're gonna go straight to Route 12. Another interesting little feature of this game, I'll explain the apples and stuff in a bit, is that if you fall down a hole, you don't die immediately. Pits aren't instant death. What they do is they send you somewhere, and then you have to go back. Once you escape, you manage to go back to the beginning of the route you were just on. Something's trying to get in my head! Huh? What was that? Who knows? Surely it'll never come up again. Anyway, enemies, missile enemies are unique in that they explode when they die more spectacularly than the rest of the enemies, and they cannot give any drops. So, no health, no money, no apples. Now, money gives exactly what you would think, money, and I'll show you what we can use that for in a bit. Health gives you exactly what you think, the heart is health, and apples give you something called force. Now, we can't do anything with force just yet, but we will get to that eventually. Now, as for the money, let me check. Alright, we want to use a shop call. Here it is on the menu screen. As you can see, there's zeros near a lot of things because we don't actually own them. But we do have Ultra Food. Each one of these is one bar of health. Micro recorders, which you can use to save your game through passwords. And the shop call. Now, every time you go to the shop, you want to make sure to buy one of these shop calls, because this is the only way to go to a shop except for one specific route in the game. I'll show that eventually. But for now, use the shop call, and you go into the shop. Now, he doesn't have a ton available here at the Super Shop. And I love how his little son or daughter is there helping him. It's adorable. So what you can press B and you get a description of an item. Like this is Power Boots. You can jump and increase your speed. And this is Aqua Lung, our protective diving gear. This allows you to go underwater without taking damage. First things first, you always want to do, buy a shot call. And I'm going to go ahead and buy some Super Boots. And from there, we're just going to go to end. However, every time you're done, he'll buy what you don't need, but at a $2,000 discount. I wouldn't go with anything. Yes, there was the RS up there is something we can buy as well. I didn't go over that because it's not really important right now. We want to head to Route 17 from here. So make sure every time you use a shop call, you buy at least one from back from him. So anytime you're you're thinking, oh, I have enough money to buy X item plus 2,000 because you're gonna need that extra 2,000. Okay, so this is one of those places where you're gonna want to use the Power Boots. Let's see what those look like, shall we? Woohoo! Careful, you do move a lot faster and you have a lot more control over your jumps, but you still have to know how to platform. Every time you move, you drain some of the Power Boots bar. Every time you jump, same thing. However, when you're done using them, click on them on the menu and you'll be able to put them back at the same amount of bar that you've just used. Alright, so we're at Route 17. They said something about a sprite. Awesome! It's a sprite! I'm Phasia. You must get to Route 35 quickly. That beastly devil Rowdy has kidnapped the Hermit. Please help him. The Hermit? I'll open the passage to Route 35 beneath the falls along Route 6. And please hurry! Alright, it looks like we have a way to get to the Hermit and hopefully save him. Come on. Come on. Ah, I hate those little... it's really hard sometimes to get into 2-block high spaces. My suggestion is to hold down the down button when you're jumping. It sort of helps. Now, we could do all the platforming to get back, but this is a one-way exit. So if you fall down the hole, you'll get to this part. Ow! You're gonna probably take some damage. Just suffer through it. And ta-da! You get out. So now we're gonna head to Route 14. This is our way to Route 6, which is where we need to go. Die, you! Alright, so eventually I'm gonna want to get my hands on a jetpack. How much money do I have? I have enough for a jetpack, I think, but not much for not for much else. It feels like my friend is trying to tell me something. I'll send money. Don't worry about Mary. I'll take care of her for you. Just hang in there and fight. Jake. Oh no! How could I not worry now? Haha! There's some sort of rivalry between Jake and Bang. Speaking of Bang, remember that scene in the very beginning? Oh, gold bars. Gold bars are something you can trade for in the game. Oops, I keep missing my jumps. Are something you can trade later for money, and there's only one place in the game to do it. However, we're going to go across a place that's pretty much unavoidable that will give us 99 gold bars eventually, and it's really easy to get. So getting any gold bars on the screens before that is kind of pointless. Alright, so one of the other tricks that you'll learn in this game, by the way, Geronimo! Bye! Hi! This statue must be the entrance! Anytime you're in the water and you jump before you hit your head hits under the water, like this, you're not taking damage from suffocation damage. Alright, so here I'm not actually going for the gold bars, it's just easier to travel above than it is in the water. So that's why I'm doing this. Careful, careful, careful. Ow. Alright, so the scene in the beginning, I'm fairly certain in the Japanese version of that scene, Bang's girlfriend was sunbathing topless. But I'm not 100% certain on that. It just strikes me as one of those scenes that got censored in the US. I have no evidence to back this up, but yeah. Oh, speaking of Japanese and American, I just want to talk about the Japanese and American box art for this game for a second. I'm going to pause and hopefully I'll show it on screen right now. On the left should be the American box art. That's the box art I had when I was a kid because I played this as an American. And the right should show the Japanese box art. It's like the Angry Kirby effect, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use a shop call while we're in the menu. Okay, we don't get access to the jetpack yet. You might be noticing that we only have one new item. Every time you visit the shop, more items are going to unlock. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and look at this. This is Rolling Star, a boomerang gun. And this is Powerball. It will move on flat ground, or it can be launched upwards. It's entirely possible throughout this entire playthrough I'll not use either of these. I know on one of my practice runs, I totally didn't use either of those. I don't need you to buy what I don't need. Alright, so what we're actually going to do is use a shop call again. Because we need access to that jetpack. But some new stuff has shown up, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 more shop calls. This is Thundershot. It's got tremendous power. It's actually extremely powerful. Yeah, BS and not, TS. I think that's a translation thing. It's one of the most useful items in the game, so we'll be wanting to grab those. This is the Super Suit. Use it and you'll be pleased. The Super Suit has a couple of effects. I'll go over them when we actually need it, which isn't for a while. But you can use the Super Suit as a defensive item if you wish. But it's expensive, so... Here we go. Now that everything is unlocked, some of this stuff is going to be crossed out every once in a while. He just won't have the inventory for it. But what we definitely want is this. Is the jetpack. This is Jetpack, our flying gear. Also, this is Dyna Punch, a drink that will increase your force. We're going to want to get 3 of these whenever they're available. Why 3? Because that's our maximum inventory available for those. Alright, so I'm not going to buy anything else, I'm going to just get another shop call. So every time you buy those Dyna Punches, you're pretty much going to want to use them right away. Or, alternatively, if you want to be extremely efficient, use them only whenever you're about to use a shop. Because force points will actually cut in half every time you die. So if you're not terribly confident in yourself, don't use them right away like I will be. I may have just implied I'm very confident about myself. This is not true. What I mean is I will forget to use them every time I'm about to go to a shop. Alright, it looks like we have a boss guarding the Hermit. It's Rowdy, isn't it? I've come to take the Hermit back. You presumptuous little twit. I'll have you for lunch. Do it if you can. Alright, this boss is extremely complicated and it requires a great deal of preparation, so you're going to have to forgive me if I take a moment to center myself and get ready. Okay. There we go. Boss is done. I asked Phasia. I see. I shall grant you the power of the Hermit. You cannot leave this valley without micro power. Gradually, you shall gain even more powers. Thank you. If you actually check your force, he actually gives you some. So now we have a new menu item. The Hermit's 5 forces. We'll use those in just a sec. What he meant by over time you'll gain more powers, every 100 force you've accumulated, and you have to have it on person. You have to have it on the screen, like 200 force, 300 force, etc, etc. You will gain new powers. We also got more hit points, in case you didn't notice. But you get micro size. You can fit into very small places. Ta-da! We're micro. We can do all the things we could do before, except I think climb those walls. But we're tiny. So now we're in this problem. Hate this enemy. Hey, I managed to kill it without taking damage. Don't worry, that won't last. So micro power lasts until you either cancel it or take damage. So we're gonna be tiny for a little bit. Until that happens. Micro power is good for avoiding damage. One of the things I love about this game are the little touches of the animations. Watch this. Ah! Every time you slide, he does that face. It's great. And you can even make him dance. I love it. Little touches of little animations in this game are great. The sound design could use some work. Alright, so when you're at this part, below you is Lava Pit. above you is where you want to go. However, climbing is more than a little difficult. So, well, ta-da! What you want to do is use your jetpack to fly up. There we go. I'm going to put the jetpack away and move on. Alright, so next step is to go towards Route 8. Oopsies. Sometimes that can happen if you accidentally... Wait, no, Route 8 is where we just went. Hold on a sec. We actually wanted to go to Route 7. Sorry about that. My notes were a little confused on this section. Coming to Route 7 allows us to go here. Oh, this is a special enemy. They spawn only on specific routes, and it's random if they spawn. There, I just used some turbo just to show off that the more you shoot the enemy, the more money it drops. But that's about it. Hey, it also can drop random enemies. Careful. It's kind of a trap that enemy spawns only when you are basically running straight at the edge. Alright, so we managed to take care of one boss, but this is a new one. What? Can such a tiny man be a governor? Shut up! Your bunny bit in the dust when he met Tom Guycott and now lies at the bottom of a cliff. That must have been Joe! He was out scouting! Alright, so, as I can demonstrate, he doesn't hurt us. He's too tiny. So what you want to do is you want to shoot him. However, he seems to be getting a little bigger. Still doesn't hurt us. Still doesn't hurt us. Uh-oh. Now he can hurt us. He's going to summon a bunch of little copies of himself. Ow. And I'm in a terrible position. I messed this up bad. Okay, usually I can do this boss without taking damage. Ow. But sometimes this happens. And I goof. Alright. Good, okay. I've got the pattern down again. Alright, we're gonna take at least 1 point of damage from this guy falling. Yep. So here's the pattern you want to follow. You jump up, shoot his mouth as you're falling down, and then you duck and move towards him. You do this, repeat this in the middle of the room, and you're guaranteed to avoid taking any damage whatsoever from him. This shouldn't work, it does, and it's glorious. Ow! I goofed. I jumped too soon. Oh! Oh dear. Gotcha! Okay. That was a little closer than it needed to be. Alright, we managed to beat the boss. Now let's move on. Oh, and your health refills when you get one of those medals. Speaking of the medals, you can see it in the bottom left. We now have one of the medals. Bastard. Alright. No new enemy spawning? Yep, never mind. Gotcha. I love the design of enemies in this game. It's always so funny looking. Alright. With that done, we managed to meet Tom Guycott. Start our mission. Defeat the monster defending the hermit. And kill our first governor. Where do we go from here? Find out next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you folks then.